Samur Maykr raised the bar for Doom Eternal boss fights everywhere. And today we're going to take it step by step through each and every phase and figure out how. Let's talk about that analysis. So first of all, at least first when I came in here, I was like, this is another Con Maykr fight. Wait, my lock-on's not working. What's going on? So I went back to the old trusty PB Ballista right here. He's got very Prowler and Archvile-like tendencies, but as you can see, when you do about half the damage, these nasty eyes come in. This is a pure hazard, and while hazards aren't the first thing that happened in Samur's fight, they definitely stand out here. Now these keep the combat flowing. Yes, the push forward combat is actually pushed by the eyes. They give you ammo for killing them, like this, PB Ballista, and when both of them die, they will respawn. And it's about a 10-second timer, so really you're best killing one at a time. See what I mean there? Now you can lock on Samur when he does his little trade-off here, so you have to decide, is this worth it? Is this what I want to do? And it also incentivizes you to really go fast, because as you can see here, if I'm just casually playing around, I'm like, oh, I can't waste time here. There is so much crap going on that this is scary. I'm taking a lot of damage. And that will also make your nerves go higher if you're not used to this kind of thing. It's a high-pressure, intense boss fight that spans 5 phases. And this is just the beginning to get you used to it. Let's dive into the second phase and do a little mini analysis of this here. And because this is really super interesting to me, I find this phase really pulls some strings and tricks that most people don't think about. Let's talk about that. Okay, Mancubus, Hell Knight. What is so special about this? There is actually something special that I talk about all the time. So we have Samur up here. We're not actually fighting him in his fight. It's a big change up. But over here we have a Hell Knight. And over here we have a Mancubus. See, this combination of enemies is what I often refer to as a pressure and ranged unit combination. The Hell Knight, he is made for getting up close and personal, really pressuring you into corners, trying to get you knocked out of your way, focusing on him, distracting you, really getting up close. While the Mancubus is a counter. He plays off. This is synergy. This is synergetic stuff here. The Mancubus is a ranged unit that while you're busy with the Hell Knight over here, he is raining fire from wherever the heck he wants to. So let's actually go on display and do this. Alright, I'm focused on the Hell Knight. He's actually a lot faster to the spirits. These are actually special spirits. Let me teach you how in just a second. So I'm like, oh man, this knight, he's bothering me so bad, but if I get into that Mancubus line of fire, I am royally screwed. So my positioning, I always talk about positioning in Doom Eternal being so important to you, and this is a test of it right freaking here, because if you get out in the Mancubus line of fire, you are in bad shape. This tests your mobility and moving around and everything here, and of course you have the portals that you have to be careful of as well. Now, you do have your chain gun shield you can use, but it doesn't really last long against this insanity, right? Just look at this, just think about it. Have you ever thought about, comment this, I really want to know if you thought about this or not in the comments. I'm legit serious. Have you ever thought about the ranged and pressure unit combo? This is such a great example, and we play on it even further in the next part of this, so don't leave there. We got to see the next part here, how they turn this up to 11. It knows what they're doing. They're introducing you to a premium ranged and close-up combination here. So let's go ahead and kill this Hell Knight and move on to the next part that let me show you here. You know, why don't I just do lock on? No, he gets glory killed. Alright, so he dies. We have to pull out the beam. I don't have enough. Oh no, he's going to inhabit something else. The knight continually responds. You have to be on top of your game with resource management to really take this out. Okay, so let's go for the knight first. I always do that. And that's because I want to get rid of that ranged unit chasing me down because of his buff from the spirit. It's a lot easier when you take that ranged unit down because then you actually have freedom to move. This knight is very good at pressuring you to stay in certain areas. And he wants you to get in that Mancubus line of sight. He wants you to get out in the open. Okay, now that he's back, we can freeze him. If you actually hit your ice bomb, don't be like me. And then we just have the Mancubus. So this puts us in a very advantageous position when it comes to combat. Here's why. The knight is no longer buffed. He feels really freaking slow right now. His AI is a lot easier to move around and dodge and play against. See, you know, you can pretty much make him do what you want him to do. And it's a lot harder to stay when you have the Spirited Knight in that line of fire. Now, you see how much easier I have control of the battlefield? It's all about spatial control, man. It's all about controlling your space, as I was just saying. So when we take a look at this here, I love this stuff. This is so interesting. All right, we're controlling this corner of the battlefield right here, right? I own it. I have the power. I am not on the back foot. If I were to get rid of this Mancubus first, that would be nice, but I would still be fighting for pressure. He just does whatever the heck he wants to do over there. This knight controls the battlefield in the area. So let's get rid of this Mancubus and move on to phase 3. It's also unlike anything else in the game. There we go. Get a little bit of action going there. All right, so you really just have as much time as you want right here. There's no pressure, nothing to worry about. So this is a little Zero Master trick I'm going to show you on this phase. This is what we call an auto-scroller. No matter what you do to the bane of all speedrunners, this section will not go any faster than 1 minute time. It also is a test of your endurance for a minute, sure, but think about it. Look at the mobility that you can do. Oh, see? That's a prime example of what not to do. These change off back and forth. You get caught in low. You got to go over here. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, no. What am I going to do? Here's what you do. You go to your runes. You put on Savagery. And you put on Dazed. You stall out these cacodemons. And you just wait. And wait and wait. Now, when you actually want to go in for it, when you glory kill, that Savagery is going to give you armor back as well. This is a test of your movement because look at all the portals up here, which I don't recommend using, honestly. You just put up your shield and do that. And after a while, you have the next thing come in. You have the lasers. See how it stacks these hazards and just advances you from easy to medium to hard mode? Oh, by the way, when you're playing the randomizer and you have double pain elementals here, this section sucks, man. So if you're also playing for strategy, what you might want to do is get your health low enough and position yourself whenever this cutscene is about to play to do a desperate punch on Samur. Oh, that's not where I want to be. Okay, so if you are up there and you have low health, you can do a desperate punch on Samur and get a bunch of damage in. Would not recommend for casual play. So after the auto-scroller is over, we go to phase 4. Quite possibly, this is where people die a lot. And this was actually where a buff happened. As you see, there's a lot of extra pickups down and around. We have a Blood Maykr that comes in on a 20-second spawn timer. So when you kill it, that is your time to shine. This Blood Maykr is absolutely a pressure and ranged unit both. Okay, start counting. It's about 20 seconds. So when he goes down, you have 20 seconds of pressure and time to focus on whittling down Samur. Quick switching of your PB Ballista is really put to the test in this fight, more so than the Con Maykr. This is basically like an advanced con fight if you think about it. They take everything that you do in the con and make it harder. Was that 20 seconds already? Surely not. Anyway, now we have a pressure unit. Now we have 2 ranged. Pretty much, I mean, this is a boss fight. Now we have the eyes with half health. If you're down low, the thing about this fight, what it teaches you to do is that you want to be up high. You want to control. If you want to have better control of the battlefield when you're up high like this, I'm just going to dance around just for the heck of it and probably die as I show you. See? They're trying to establish and dominate control by the crowd control, by slowing me down. So when I'm down here, I'm taking damage from the eyes. The lasers are in full effect here. They're raining from above. They have the height advantage here. Whenever you're playing games, you want to typically be up higher. That way you have the look down below on your opponents. See, they're way up there. Let's get rid of that Blood Maykr. I get him and now I have a chance. When you're down here, you are at the back foot. Now, thankfully, it does give us a Soul Sphere, but you have to decide. This is about your decision in the battle. Do you want to hold that Soul Sphere until now or the next phase? Because the next phase is super interesting. Just think about how it really is a test of endurance. You have 5 phases, which themselves are subdivided up into miniature phases. So you really have 10 to 15 different mini phases in this whole battle. You have your navigation, everything. Look at this. Look at this battlefield. This is really putting everything to the test. So as we see, everything has a solution, though. Every combat puzzle in this game has a dang solution. Samur's, how to dodge these. Blood Maykrs, take them out. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Chrono Strike is not my favorite rune, but it's one of the most powerful in the game. And if you're struggling in this section, hey, put your pride away. Use Chrono. Swap it out. You don't swap runes a lot in Eternal, but when I was doing 2016 pistol only no equipment, we swapped all the time. So I'm going to think about, no, I think I can hang on to it. Oh, I must have grabbed the Soul Sphere by accident. Okay, well, we'll just pretend I didn't. I really didn't mean to do that. All right, so let's finish off Samur and go to everybody's favorite Phase 5. I also haven't talked about BFG usage because I believe it's best used in the next section. We'll talk about that in just a second. So what's up with these spirits? Why are they such a big deal here? I need to tell you, this is the time. All these spirits in this fight have a 99.9% damage less from the BFG tendrils. So you want to hit it on the spot with your direct shots with your BFG. You don't want to miss. The tendrils are going to do jack from what they normally do. So this is the culmination of everything we've worked for, right? Why does this matter? Holy crap. Okay, so we have a Blood Maykr right here to give us range and pressure. We have 2 units here. We have the Pressure Unit Dread Knight, which is an upgrade from the Hell Knight. We have the Pain Elemental, which is an upgrade from the Mancubus, and good lord, that guy is tough. This game also gives you a chance to follow Samur's pathways, and it lets you track where your enemies are on the battlefield. So if you're down here, it gives you the advantage of how to track where each and every enemy is. I am glad I have these extra lives. So as you can see, this also does not want you to play around. This fight is one that pushes that urgency to hurry the heck up and do what you need to do, because the longer you stay in this fight, it knows the more human error that you're going to have, and you're eventually going to screw up. Like, look at this. I'm starting to freak out now, right? Like, I don't know what to do. Everything's all around me, and it's all die, Samur, and everything's screwing up. That all is done. I believe it's done intentionally. Like, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this was done intentionally? Look at the pressure this fight puts on. Everything is moving fast. I'm almost dead. I have these stupid hazards here. They're taking everything, well, except for like the eyeballs. They're taking everything they started off in phase 1 and bringing us with, and culmination, it brings it all to a huge finish right here. So in this, I typically take down the Pain Elemental first. This is also where Chrono shines, and knowing what tools to use for each situation. Chain Gun Shield for Gladiator, Lock On for Con. I'm telling you, man, there's a solution to every combat puzzle, and id knows what's going on. Is my Chrono actually restoring? Well, anyway, the whole point is, take him down, do a direct BFG shot, because when you're actually starting off, what happens? I gotta drain it. What happens is that you will have him dance to the side and back, so you have to understand how the AI moves in this fight, or else you're going to miss your very first BFG shot. And look how much he moves around. Oh, look, ammo, boom. Who needs a chainsaw when you have a refill? Another beautiful advantage of the Blood Maker right here. And then when he dies, you have the pressure to get rid of the Spirit, which of course has been nerfed to 65 fuel, and you have to keep that Dread Knight out the way. I meant to jump. I somehow did the flame belch on my mouse. I need to make a keybind video. Okay, so the one goes down. The Pain Elemental and Dread Knight have the spawns that don't go as long now, but just check this out. Let's finish this out. The Pain Elemental comes back, where, you know, ice him when you're freezing. Learn when to go in for the Spirit Bombs with your microwave. Know when to hold them and fold them, and know when to not go in there. So in this case, there's more risky strategies like getting up close and blood punching. If you want to frag him, falter, and then just hit the blood punch to get in close. So there's a lot of different strategies. It's not just all PB Ballista lock on. You know, it just depends on what you want out of it. But this fight really tests everything we've learned up to this point and raises the bar for Doom Eternal boss battles. Subscribe if you like this kind of video. I love them. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.